All right, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Kadesh, the honors to the elders and apostles who taught me this truth. This is Ezekiel 20, and I was going to go through it in the NIV and just do a quick read through, not like a full breakdown, but a read through of this, and maybe explain the fruit of the scriptures. But let's just get into it so we can. Sometimes it's good just to compare what you get when you go through things in the King James with other versions. All right. So let's see what the NIV said. All right. In the 7th year, in the 5th month, on the 10th day, some of the elders of Israel came to inquire of the Lord. So they came to inquire of Yahweh, and they sat down in front of me. Then the words of Yahweh came to me. Son of man, speak to the elders of Israel and say to them that this is what the sovereign Yahweh says. Sovereign Lord Yahweh says, have you come to inquire of me? As surely as I live, I will not let you inquire of me, declares the sovereign Lord. Will you judge them? Will you judge them, son of man? Then confront them with the detestable practices of their ancestors. All right, so the ancestors were pretty much going off. All right, and said to them, this is what the sovereign Lord Yahweh says. On the day I chose Israel, I swore and uplifted hands to the descendants of Jacob and revealed myself to them in Egypt. With uplifted hands, I said to them, I am Yahweh, your power. All right, so this is the Lord saying that he swore to our ancestors. On the day I swore to them that I would bring them out of Egypt into a land I had searched out for them, a land flowing with milk and honey, the most beautiful of our lands. And I said to them, each of you, get rid of your vile images you have set your eyes on, and do not defile yourself with the idols of Egypt. I am the Lord, your power. All right, so pretty much, don't be going off, don't be worshiping the pagan gods and things of that nature that was going on in that time. So do not defile yourself with the vile images. But they rebelled against me and would not listen to me. They did not get rid of the vile images they had set their eyes on, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. So I said I would pour out my wrath on them and spin my anger against them in Egypt. All right, so the Lord said, that he was going to punish them in Egypt for, going against his ways. All right. And that's probably getting into too when Egypt increased the yoke of Israel, and enslaved them, many years after um, Joseph passed away. But for the sake of my name, I brought them out of Egypt. I did it to keep my name from being profaned in the eyes of the nations, among whom they lived, in whose sight I have revealed myself to the Israelites. All right, so he said he did this, so his name wouldn't look bad because he made a promise to the Israelites to bring them out. Therefore, I led them out of Egypt and brought them into the wilderness. I gave them my decrees and made known to them my laws by which the person who obey them will live. And that is the whole promise of, the laws in the old covenant, why we're supposed to keep them. That is the secret to living long, happy lives, keeping the Lord's law, the laws of Yahweh is a benefit. Also, I give them my Sabbaths as a sign between us, so they would know that I, the Lord, made them holy. And holy means separate. The Lord made us a separate people from everyone else, not to be, what they say, integrated or whatever. We are supposed to be a separate people, a holy people, a nation of priests. Yet the people of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They did not follow my decrees, but rejected my laws, by which the person who obeyed them will live. And they utterly did this, desecrated my Sabbath. So I said I would pour out my wrath on them and destroy them in the wilderness. All right. So because the people went against the Lord and desecrated the Lord's laws, he said he was going to destroy the people for not doing what the Lord asked us to do, for not keeping our part of the bargain, pretty much. So I'm sure to see if I'm still okay, still recording. Let's see. Okay, bring the Bible back up. Some of this technical stuff. See what was Ezekiel 20. Alright, and see what was Alright. Alright, because I'm going to make the 14th verse. But for the sake of my name, I did what will keep it from being profane in the eyes of the nations, and in whose sight I have brought them out. Also, with an uplifted hand, I have swore to them in the wilderness that I would not bring them into the land I give them, a land flowing with milk and honey, the most beautiful of our lands. Because they rejected my laws and did not follow my decrees and desecrated my Sabbaths, for their hearts were devoted to their idols. So the hearts were devoted to these false images, these false gods, you know, white man, Jesus, and things like that, Lord, as you see today, Serapis Christus. And then you also know, this is going into how you know that everything goes in circles because the people are acting just like that today as they was back then. Because our people can't let go of their idols and come back to the Lord. Yet I looked on them with pity and did not destroy them or put an end to them in the wilderness. I said to their children in the wilderness, do not follow the status of your parents or keep their laws or defile yourself with their idols. All right, so let us know, no, no, don't be caught up in all these pagan beliefs. I am the Lord, your power. Follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws. Keep my Sabbath holy, that they might be a sign between us. Then you will know that I am the Lord, your power. So that is one way we know we show that the Lord, is a part. We try to keep the Sabbath as best we can. And we know keeping the Sabbath is a very hard thing in Babylon the Great. One thing, because it don't fall on the same day of the week every month, because the Sabbath is based off the new moon. All right. And it's pretty almost near impossible to keep the Sabbath right in here. But that's one of the things that we got to try to get back to doing as best we can. Because that is one of the things that's pleasing to the Lord. And one of the things that we can do to help keep the Sabbath, we can abstain from having sex on the Sabbath. All right. You might have to work because of Esau, up under his laws or whatever, but you can definitely abstain from having sex, things of that nature. So we just keep the Sabbath the best we can. But the children rebelled against me. They did not follow my decrees. They were not careful to keep my laws, of which I said, the person who obey them will live by them, and they desecrated my Sabbath. So I said I will pour out my wrath on them and spill my anger against them in the wilderness. So this is why they had so many hardships in the wilderness, because they refused to do what the Lord say. And that is why we living in this time period, and people are going to go through so many hardships now, because they are refusing to do what the Lord say. But I withheld my hand, and for the sake of my name, I did what would keep it from being profane in the eyes of the nations, in whose sight I have brought them out. I also, with an uplifted hand, I swore to them in the wilderness that I will disperse them among the nations and scatter them through the countries. So He's saying that, Israel was going to be scattered into all nations. And we know he made good on it because we are scattered into all nations right now until this very day. Because they had not obeyed my laws, but had rejected my decrees and desecrated my Sabbath. In their eyes, lusted after their parents' idols because, we didn't want to do right and we just wanted to keep doing evil. We wanted to keep celebrating holidays like Christmas, Easter, what other pagan holidays they got? Valentine's Day, Halloween. Pretty much if the Lord tells us not to do it, this is what people in Babylon the Great want to do. This is what Israelites in Babylon the Great want to do. Everything that goes against the Lord. All right. So I gave them other statutes that were not good and laws through which they could not live. All right. So pretty much, when you start doing these things, you're doing wrong and they ain't good. I defy them through their gifts, the sacrifice of every firstborn, that I might fill them with horror, so they will know that I am the Lord. Therefore, Son of Man, speak to the people of Israel and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord Yahweh says. In this also your ancestors blasphemed me by being unfaithful to me. All right, and as you know, that's why the Lord compares Israel and Judah to being two unfaithful women, because we are married to the Lord Yahweh. And when we go off, that is the same as committing adultery with the Lord. And we know the punishment for adultery is death, according to the scripture. When I brought them into the land I had sworn to give them, they said, in high hills of any leafy trees, there they offered their sacrifice and made offerings that aroused my anger. Presents their fragrances, incense, and poured out their drink offerings. So, these things made the Lord mad. All these offerings they made to these pagan gods. Then I said to them, what is this high place you go to? It is called bound to this day. Alright, what is this high place? Therefore said to Israel, this is what the sovereign Lord say. Will you defile yourselves the way your ancestors did and lust after the vile images? So are we going to keep doing the wrong that our ancestors did? When you're offered your gifts, the sacrifice of your children in the fire. So when you offer your gifts, the sacrifice of your children in the fire, and that's what Israelites were doing. They were sacrificing their children to these pagan gods, to Baal. Matter of fact, that is one of the things that Santa Claus represents. You sitting your child on the lap of Santa is signifying you sacrificing your child in that fire to that God. We do these things nowadays without realizing what everything is symbolizing. Because most of these customs on these pagan holidays symbolize some kind of pagan ceremony. And we're acting out that ceremony without even understanding what we are acting out. You could continue to defile yourself with all your idols to this day. Am I to let your inquiries of me, you Israelites, as surely as I live, declares the sovereign Lord, I will not let you inquire of me. All right. So pretty much, the Lord said you can't inquire of him because of everything they're doing wrong. All right. You said we want to be like these nations, like the people of the world who serve wood and stone. And we know wood is going into now today's day plantation Christianity, which is represented by the wooden cross, and the stone, which represents Islam and the stone that they worship. All right. But what you have in your mind will never happen. As surely as I live, declared Yahweh, I will reign over you with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, and with outpour wrath. So the Lord said he's going to punish us as surely as we live for all this wickedness. I will bring you from the nations and gather you from the countries where you have been scattered. And that is going into current day times. All right? The Lord said he was going to gather us from the country where we've been scattered. And right now, this is beginning to be done through the internet. And then eventually, the chariots are going to come. These nations are going to bring us all together. But this is already beginning. The gathering is beginning. Because as it said in Psalms, I believe, the 19th chapter, this message was prophesied to go out through the internet, through the firmament. In a mighty hand, in an outstretched arm, and with an outpoured wrath, I will bring you into the wilderness of the nations there, face to face, but I execute judgment upon you. And we know this is beginning to take place now. Let's get into Jacob's trouble, executing this judgment upon us face to face. And as I judged your ancestors in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so I will judge you, declared Yahweh, right? The sovereign Lord Yahweh. I will pour, I will purge you out of those who rebelled against me. And although I will bring them out of the land where they are living, yet they will not enter into the land of Israel. Then you will know that I am the Lord. So this is the Lord saying, he's going to bring us out of the land, and yet some people are still not going to make it into the kingdom, right? Even though they'll make it out of Babylon the Great. So, that right there is scary, and that right there lets you know that it's going to be some people who make it through Jacob's trouble on this side and Babylon the Great, but yet will still not enter into the kingdom. As for you, people of Israel, this is what Yahweh says. Go and serve your idols, every one of you. But afterward, you will surely listen to me and no longer profane my holy name with your gifts and idols. And that is what this punishment is for. Right? He said, after you go through this punishment that he's going to send you through, you will no longer serve these pagan gods or these false gods as own. You're only going to serve Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. For on my holy mountain, the high mountain of Israel, declared Yahweh, there in the land, all the people of Israel will serve me, and there I will accept them. There I will require your offerings and your choice gifts, along with all your holy sacrifice. So everybody is going to return to the Lord in this day. All right. I will accept you as fragrance, incense when I bring you out from the nations and gather you from the countries where you have been scattered. And I will prove holy through you in the sight of the nations, and I will be proven holy through you in the sight of the nations. Then you will know that I am the Lord, and I will bring you into the land of Israel, the land I had sworn with uplifted hands to give to your ancestors. All right, so once everyone has went through Jacob's trouble and all the Persian, then we will enter into the land that the Lord has set up for us. There you will remember your conduct and all the actions by which you had defiled yourself, and you will loathe yourself for all the evil you have done. So, everyone's going to be crying and sad for all the wrong they're going to do. All right, because, we all did a lot of wrong in the sight of the Lord. And when that last day, we're going to come back to him and we're going to feel ashamed for all that wrong that we did. You will know that I am the Lord, and when I deal with you for my name's sakes, and not according to your evil ways and your corrupt practices, you people of Israel declares Yahweh, the sovereign Lord Yahweh. The word of the Lord came to me. All right. Son of man, set your face toward the south, preach against the south, and prophesied against the forest of the southland. All right. Say to the southern forest, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord said. I am about to set fire to you. It will consume all your trees, both green and dry, and the blazing fire will not be quenched, and every face from the south to the north will be scorched by it. So this is going into that thermonuclear destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great. All right, everyone will see that I, the Lord, have kindled it, and it will not be quenched. Then I said, Sovereign Lord, they are saying of me, isn't he just telling parables? So no, people don't believe this is going to happen. But the Lord is letting us know that this is going to take place, all right? And pretty much, you know, things are going to happen, once again, kind of like Egypt. We're going to go through a purging period where the Lord is going to plead with us face to face. And the ones who will not return to the Lord with their whole hearts are going to be destroyed, as it says in the book of Tobit. And the ones who return and truly trust and lean on the Lord are going to make it through, to enter into the kingdom, all right, to enter into Israel once again. And with that, I'm going to say, Shalom.